Anger can sometimes be one of the hardest emotions to control. It can start off small, maybe because of a rough morning, or maybe because you made a tiny mistake when doing something, or maybe you heard a few words that rubbed you the wrong way. But before you know it, that small spark of frustration grows into something bigger. Sometimes anger can make even the people who love each other feel like enemies. Today, we're looking at a Berenstain Bears episode that explores how little annoyances can turn into full-on fights. The episode starts with a normal morning in the Bear family's treehouse. Mama Bear is making breakfast. Brother and Sister Bear walk in and enjoy the smell of their favorite meal. Then Papa Bear shows up. He's grumpy, barely says good morning, and seems bothered by something small, like not finding the newspaper. The kids notice right away and ask what's wrong, but Mama just says he got up on the wrong side of the bed. It's a small moment, but it quietly sets the tone for the episode. Even before the real argument begins, we're already seeing how moods and little frustrations can spread through a family.
It needs a dash of cinnamon, a dollop of honey, $2.
Good morning, Mama. Morning, Mama. What's for breakfast?
Your favorite honey cinnamon porridge.
Hey, great.
Careful, it's hot.
Good morning, Papa. Guess what's for breakfast, Papa? Your favorite honey cinnamon porridge.
Where's the paper?
Bye, Papa.
Have a nice day.
Wow, what's with him? Yeah, what's eating Papa?
Oh, nothing really. I just think he got out of the wrong side of bed this morning.
The Cubs come home from school. Mama says there's milk and cookies waiting for them. Sister starts talking to Mama about what happened that morning. She asks about Papa's bad mood and what it really means to get up on the wrong side of the bed. Mama explains it's just a way to describe when someone wakes up feeling grumpy for no clear reason. The Cubs are about to be put to bed, but before they go to bed, Brother asks Mama a question. He wants to know what if both she and Papa woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Mama laughs it off and says that could mean war. It's a funny response, but it's also a little hint about what's coming next. The episode is setting up the idea that bad days can lead to bigger conflicts, even in a family that usually gets along.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, Cubs. Milk and cookies waiting on the kitchen table.
Mama, remember this morning when Papa was grouchy and you said it was because he got out of the wrong side of the bed?
I remember.
Well, what side of the bed is the wrong side?
There's no special side, really. It's just an expression that means starting off the day grouchy, that's all.
Oh.
Okay. Into bed with you. Good night, Cubs.
Good night, Papa. Mama,
Yes, dear?
remember what you said about getting out of the wrong side of the bed? Well, how about you?
How about me what?
Have you ever gotten out of the wrong side of the bed?
Oh, of course I have. Everybody gets out of the wrong side of the bed occasionally. Well, good night, dears.
Mama, suppose you both got out of the wrong side of the bed on the same morning. What would happen then?
There's no telling what would happen then. That could mean war.
It's morning time. Brother and Sister Bear start bickering right away. Brother tells Sister to get her dopey feet out of his face, and Sister says her feet aren't dopey and calls him a grouch puss. Sister then sneaks into the bathroom, locks the door, and starts singing while Brother pounds on the door and threatens to flatten her like a carpet. It's loud and silly, but you can tell both of them are really mad. Papa Bear comes in, surprised and upset by all the noise. He asks what's going on and listens to Brother's story. Sister put her feet in his face, called him names, and then locked the bathroom door. But Papa doesn't accept that as an excuse. He scolds him for yelling and name calling. Sister comes out acting sweet, greets Papa like nothing happened. Brother is still furious and says he'll never speak to her again, and Sister agrees. This scene shows how small annoyances like feet in your face or a locked door can quickly turn into a big fight, even more so when kids use name calling and threats. The episode uses this silly argument to show how people can let little problems grow into bigger ones if nobody calms down or listens.
Sister, get your dopey feet out of my face.
My feet aren't dopey, grouch puss, and they're not in your face.
Now hear this. Get your dopey face out of my face.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're the one that's dopey, Brother Bear, because while you're sitting there like a clod, I'm getting into the bathroom ahead of you and locking the door.
Hey, you can't do that, you little twerp. You unlock this door, you little nerd. If you don't unlock this door... She's singing.
We brush our teeth early in the morning. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth.
If you don't let me in there, you little... Wait, I'm gonna flatten you out and roll you up like a carpet. Hi, Papa.
What in the name of bear country is going on here?
Well, you see, Papa...
What possible excuse could you have for banging on doors and calling your sister names?
Well, see, she put her feet in my face, see, and then when I told her not to, she called me grouch puss and sneaked into the bathroom ahead of me and locked the door. Then when I asked her to come out, she started to sing and...
None of which is any kind of excuse for pounding on doors and calling names.
Good morning, Papa dear. It certainly is a lovely day.
Good morning, sweetie. Now, why can't you be sweet and cooperative like your sister?
I'll never speak to her again as long as I live!
You got a deal, Buster.
At breakfast, Sister refuses to talk to Brother and starts speaking through Papa Bear, and Brother does the same thing. Now on the bus, their friends can tell something's wrong. They've saved seats for both of them, but Brother says he wouldn't sit beside her if she was the last cub on Earth. Sister replies back and says that goes double for her.
Papa dear, will you ask that person beside you for the honey?
Not speaking.
Papa, would you ask that person beside you for the butter?
Oh.
Hi, brother. Hi, sister. Saved your regular seat for you.
I wouldn't sit beside her if she was the last cub on Earth.
That goes double for me.
Later at home, Mama tries to get them to make up by suggesting they play together in their treehouse. But instead of making peace, they take their fight there too. They literally draw a line down the middle. Every little thing becomes a battle over space and pride. Even when it starts to rain, neither one wants to give in. They'd rather sit in the storm than let the other win. Mama Bear watches from the house and starts to worry. Finally, she calls them in before they get sick. So far in the story, we see how pride can turn a small disagreement into a full-on war. Neither brother nor sister wants to be the first to apologize, and that stubbornness makes things worse. The rainstorm becomes a symbol as a way for the episode to show how anger can cloud everything until someone finally decides to stop fighting.
Hi, Mama.
Hello, dear. Where's your brother?
Brother? I don't know anybody by that name.
You'll find milk and cookies on the kitchen table, and afterward, why don't you come outside and play in that nice backyard treehouse you've been working on together?
I want to say just one thing. If that other person, who shall be nameless, thinks for 1 minute he's going to take over my half of this treehouse, he's sadly mistaken.
Well, if a certain little twit thinks she's gonna take my half of the treehouse, she's even more mistaken.
This side of the line is my half. And if a certain loudmouth so much as puts one toe over this line...
And this is my half. And if a certain dopey bathroom hogging twerp so much as...
dear, those cubs.
Silly head. Lay off,
Brother?
Winnie.
Sister, don't you know enough to come in out of the rain? Come in here this instant. Go up to your room and dry off before you catch your death of cold.
The next scene shows just how far the fight has gone. Sister finds out that brother has been using her modeling clay, and she's furious. Brother fires back by saying she's been messing with his jigsaw puzzle and throws it on the floor. What starts as a small argument over toys quickly explodes into name-calling and shouting. They accuse each other of stealing, using each other's stuff, and being unfair. Neither one stops to listen. They just yell louder and louder until the whole house can hear. Papa finally shouts from downstairs for them to stop, saying he doesn't care whose fault it is, but instead of calming down, they both keep blaming each other. This moment shows the viewer how fast anger can take over when nobody takes a step back. Brother and sister both feel wrong, but neither is willing to admit they might also be part of the problem. It's a realistic look at how fights between siblings, or anyone really, can turn into chaos when pride and frustration take control.
Well, I like that. Some unauthorized person has been using my modeling clay.
Oh, it took me a week to make those! Well, what about my jigsaw puzzle that some little twerp has been putting together?
You no good rat. I've been working on that puzzle for 2 whole weeks.
What about my clay dinosaurs? I was working on them for a school project.
Oh yeah? Well, my clay is my clay and you have absolutely no right.
I have every right. You're always using my stuff. My skateboard, my hockey stick, my...
Never mind about your stuff. You no good sorehead.
You're the sorehead, you little silly nitwit. Why, I oughta...
You just shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up!
Wonk.
What in the world is going on up there? I want that shouting stopped this instant. Understand?
It's all his fault. He called me names.
All my fault. It's all her fault.
I don't care whose fault it is. I want this fighting and bickering stopped. Stop, you hear?
Eventually, Mama Bear has had enough. She blows a sharp whistle that stops everyone in their tracks. She sits brother and sister down and tells them what the audience has already noticed, that their fight has gotten so out of hand, they probably don't even remember how it started. Mama doesn't yell or take sides. Instead, she helps them calm down and talk things through. She explains that everyone, even people who love each other, gets into bad moods sometimes. When that happens, one small thing can lead to another until it turns into a big, noisy fight. Papa tries to act like that never happens to him and Mama, but she gently reminds him it does. Even they argue sometimes. Mama goes on to explain that when people fight, they often say things they don't mean. But eventually, they realize how silly it all was. And like a storm passing, the anger fades away. Then as the storm outside clears, the cubs notice a rainbow. Mama tells them that a rainbow is something beautiful that happens after a storm, just like making up after a fight. The kids laugh, shake hands, and finally make peace.
What do you think this is? Family Feud? I want the noise stopped. Stop, you hear?
I didn't know you could whistle that loud, Mama.
Well, I can. And I can also tell you that I've had quite enough of this foolish fighting. Why, I don't think you two even remember what you're fighting about. All right, you two. Onto my lap. Now let's settle down and talk about the situation calmly and quietly. Let's talk about how folks get into bad moods once in a while and how one thing leads to another and they get into big, nasty, noisy arguments. Even folks who love each other very much.
You and I don't have arguments, my dear.
Oh, yes, we do.
No, we don't.
We're having one right now about whether or not we have arguments. They get angry. They begin to stomp and shout, say all sorts of things they really don't mean, even call each other bad names. Then after a while, they come to their senses and realize how silly they've been, and the whole thing blows away.
You mean it all sort of blows away like the storm?
Yes, my dear, like the storm.
Hey, gang, look, a rainbow.
Yes, a rainbow. You see, a rainbow is something very beautiful that happens after a big storm.
You mean like making up after a fight?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Now, why don't you two kiss and make up?
Kiss and make up?
All right, then. Shake hands and make up.
The ending brings everything full circle. The storm outside mirrors the storm inside their hearts, full of noise, anger, and frustration. But when they finally stop blaming each other and start listening, their calm feelings return. The episode reminds us that even people who are really close to each other argue, but what matters most is how we come back together afterward. Forgiveness, understanding, and a little bit of love are what bring the sunshine back. Tell me what you think of this episode in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and give this video hype points.